You got to watch out for that cowboy. He might just derail this whole thing.
Yeah, it's off the rails. Here I am driving the train. I've got my nice little conductor hat on, and Morgan just decides, hey, wouldn't it be fun if I threw dynamite on the tracks?
Welcome to Reactive Reload, a radio show you're always on time for. I'm just one of your hosts, Irish Cowboy, joined by your other host, Crossover. We are going to be reloading the gaming entertainment news for the last week or so and reacting to it. I know. For real, we're back this time. We'll explain the where, what, and whys from our show on June 8th. In this one, you'll hear our E3 desires, some GTA 6 rumors, and more. But first, Apes Together Strong. I just don't get my hopes up for anything.
Yeah, that's probably the safer way.
It's happy life.
So I got the little VTech camera watching the baby on my phone here, so I can see if she wakes up.
I bet that's pretty. That's
1080p.
My wife and I completely forgot about those things, right? So
the video monitors.
Yeah, like we completely forgot they even existed.
Yeah, this one's got night vision too.
Oh,
if it goes dark in the room, I can see.
Well, one of the reasons we didn't do that is because we've seen so many creepy videos. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Those freak me out, man. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, it's all bullshit. Other times I'm like, dude, that's weird. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I ain't saying nothing, but I'm just saying it's weird. But I mean, what isn't weird?
So, how you been?
Bro? Oh my gosh.
I mean, at least you've been making money in the meantime, right?
Yes. I'll give you a couple examples. I don't know if I'm going to use any of this or not, but I mean, once this is all said and done, everyone who's in this right now we're past the point of, is this going to happen or not? I mean, because we buy the hard shares, obviously, GME and AMC. But the thing is, though, we all know we're the biggest hedge fund. Like Reddit is the biggest hedge fund. And we all know when these pushes are going to happen. We take that information and we buy call contracts and sometimes put contracts. Call contracts are super easy. Basically, you get control of 100 shares and the multiplier goes up. The higher the price goes up, the more you make. It's real easy to spend. Like I spent $66. The biggest one I had this last time, I spent $66 total, which means that's all I'm going to lose if it goes south, right? And and I did that for AMC on one contract, $66. I bought two of those. Well, last week was the one that I turned in for like 4K, and I'm still holding on to one of them because I have a feeling this thing is going to probably pop off next week, maybe. But they're going to be pulling out all the stops. The hard part is the discipline. It's like once you see those numbers start going up, you're just like, okay, I got to sell for my target. I can't I'm just trying to make some money on the side while I hold my shares while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And so in total, I could have made about in the last 2 weeks, I could have made a little over 20K with just these contracts for GME and AMC because I bought one for like $145 on GME, and it went up that was when I bought it at 140, and then I was betting basically that it was going to get to 240. So it was a 240 call. So each share was like pennies. And Robinhood has the best user interface for call contracts and put contracts. Period. I mean, I know Robinhood has a really bad rep and well-deserved, but, what's the safest plane to fly? The one that had the crash. They make a point to tell people that they're not halting trading on anything that's happening, especially not GME or AMC. They'll put a little notification. If there's a rumor going on that someone halted trading, any broker, they make sure to tell you that it wasn't them because of how bad they did. It was a colossal fuck up, but really ultimately what they did was kick the can down the road because this is going to happen anyway, baby. It's going to happen anyway, with or without them. And it gave more apes a chance to pile on to what's happening now.
I was going to say, so this all translates, long story short, TLDR.
Yeah.
Apes together strong.
Very much so. We are winning, and we will win. And
All will be well.
Oh, dude, L will be very, very well. The hedge fund, it's a black hole. They may not be able to reveal all their secrets, these hedge funds, but you can see all the stuff that's happening around them. And over the past 2 months, the SEC and the DTCC, and the SEC led by Gary Gensler, but he's a big blockchain fan. I've watched a few of his classes on YouTube. He's the new chairman of the SEC, or the new guy in charge, and he is in control of a lot of things that are going on. And they've been putting basically all of these new filings that they've been releasing that have been getting submitted and approved. We're waiting on 2 more. That's going to kick this off. And it's just like 2008 all over again. This is it's going to be happening. I didn't want to be right about everything that I've been texting you over the last several months about. I wanted to be right about a lot of this stuff, right? But there were a couple things that I did not want to be right about. And one was the crypto dip, why it's happening now, and exactly what's going on. Poor Elon Musk getting caught in all this. People blaming it on him, like when the real reason is something entirely different right now. And they're dipping it right now because they have to keep paying more. Like last week, they lost $2 billion on AMC alone. The hedge fund, the short sellers on hedge funds did. They're losing billions this week again. They lost billions, about 12 billion so far in total from this last run up. Putting all these filings out. Basically, BlackRock is probably going to be taking over for Citadel. If Citadel does default and gets margin called, Citadel is more than likely going under for what they're doing. There probably will be people getting arrested for this. And the only reason they're able to still do these things right now is because Citadel literally has a dead man switch in their hand. They have their fingers in every aspect of our economy. Everyone is invested in them because they were the biggest at the point in time. But BlackRock is now like stepping up to take control for when the shit hits the fan, and it will. But I don't think our economy is going to go down because of it. I mean, it'll go down a little bit, but I don't think there's going to be a huge. There could be a crash. I mean, we were headed for that already before.
Yeah, I was going to say that, this isn't an economics podcast or anything, but if you pay attention to the Austrian business cycle, I mean, with the Fed keeping interest rates for as low as they have for as long as they have, there's been a lot of malinvestment.
Yes.
And when you get that, eventually that all comes to a head, and it tends to all come to a head at the same time. So when is completely unpredictable, but it is coming.
Have you heard about the reverse repo and what the Fed's been doing with that? So the reverse repo is the market where the hedge funds go to borrow money from whenever they need it, like they would need it, right? Like they don't, they don't obviously need it, but sometimes they do.
Yeah, you know who doesn't have access to that? You and I.
That's right. And the Fed, this was a record for them. The Federal Reserve deposited $497 billion into this repo market to let these hedge funds borrow for their collateral to pay for what's going on now. The day before, $482 billion. It was another one. And so they're doing this every day now, and they've been doing this every day for weeks, and you can go look up the stats if you want. But all that money, all this relief money that's supposed to be going to, giving people loans to banks and all this stuff. It's supposed to be helping out the economy. The hedge funds are using it for their own short bets. They're pumping up other stocks to get people away from GME and AMC. They're bringing down businesses that don't need to be brought down. They're trying to get rid of our malls, our video game stores, and everything. Like just to make this money. They are insured for $67 trillion at the moment, and that could be a lot higher. The global economy is about 88 trillion, and I mean, if that tells you anything, it's a mess, basically. And tomorrow on 6/9 is the GME the GameStop shareholder meeting, and we might hear some bombshells, we might not, but it's going to be juicy because we know that there are fake shares, there are naked shorting. I mean, that was breaking mainstream over this weekend. I mean, I was saying this stuff months ago that this was happening from what I was seeing. I've got the receipts to back that up too. A lot of us knew this was happening, but they're just now talking about it. GameStop only has 70 million shares or so, free float for people to buy, for retail traders to buy. It's believed that there's hundreds of millions, if not close to 1 billion, naked shorts, naked fake shares for GameStop. And the hedge funds have to buy them back. Because their price target for GameStop that they want to buy them back at was like at 5 or like 10 or something, and they never got there. And every single day that they're not covering these position, their naked shares. It costs them millions, and anytime the price goes up, it costs them billions. So it's gonna pop, and that's why the Fed's putting so much, hundreds of billions into the repo market, trillions into the repo market, just to let these hedge funds borrow it to cover some of this stuff. And all these filings have been taking place for when members default, the members of the hedge funds. So some hedge funds have already gone down in the last couple months, and there's probably going to be some big ones about to come down, and they're already set up, and there's already new ones set up to take their place. And the government has every reason to let this happen. One, it would make Joe Biden look great, I guess, Nancy Pelosi. Two, the taxes from this alone. This is going to be one of the biggest events in our lives, one of the biggest transfers of wealth. In some cases, across, it already has been. It might not ever happen again because of all the filings that have happened within the last few months. And they're already about to sign them and approve the last couple. Everyone needs to be aware of what's happening and what's going on and how they can get in on this. If anyone bought like 10 shares of AMC right now, yeah, it's a lot. Or GME, I would say GME is going to have the biggest of the squeezes like no one's ever seen. But AMC is going to go along for the ride because they brought it up along with them. And all the other heavily shorted stocks too, Clove even went up today, AHT, the hotel industry, all that stuff. It's all popping, baby. The squeeze is going to happen, and it's going to be crazy, and people are not going to expect it, and they're going to be wondering what to do. And the best we can do is fill people in on what's happening. And I've been on top of this every single day, looking at the level 2s and the trades, and I know exactly what's going on now, and a lot of us do. And man, I cannot wait for these motherfuckers to go down because they fucking deserve it. But I had to tell you because you were asking me what I've been up to. I've been fighting crime. That's what I've been up to.
So if you want to follow more about this, as Morgan stated, he has been on top of it. It is at the Irish Cowboy on Twitter.
Yes, hell yes.
So E3.
Yeah, that's right. That is right.
It's happening. You and I talked a year ago now that we were worried that E3 might be a thing of the past because it was supposed to go corporate. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Seems like they got the hint last year, and all those rumors, if they were true, the power that be, they backed off.
Yep.
So we're going to have a lot of cool stuff coming to E3 for the gamers, but not Sony. Sony said, shove it.
They're too cool for school, is what Sony's saying. They don't want to be a part of it, which is, that's their like whatever privilege, man. They don't have, you don't have to be there. We don't want them there.
Your opinion, man.
The dude, there's going to be lots of cool things at E3. There's going to be virtual booths we can go around on our phones or whatever and zoom in on these little doodads going on. I mean, everyone's going to be excited to see Halo Infinite, and I made my little joking, almost not joking prediction that we might see a GoldenEye remake, even though there already has been one. I'd like to see something nostalgic. I think we're going to see something cool that brings us back to gaming, how it used to be before all this shit happened, before we started gaming more. Last year in 2020. That's what I want to see. I want to see something fun and exciting to get into. I want to see more of the Plan B, or is it Plan 8? I can't remember what the game is, but we all get like little exo suits. And
the Plan B is, I think, something totally different.
Oh yeah,
I think.
True. Which yes.
Yes.
It's bad if I censor myself. So I'm just going to stop myself there.
We also have Summer Games Fest coming as well.
Santa Keeley.
Yeah, Santa Keeley put this together last year, or maybe he didn't put it together, but he was the mouthpiece for Summer Games Fest last year. He kind of led he hosted the event. He had a lot to do with getting it together. Happened in lieu of there not being an E3 due to COVID.
Yep.
Goodness weekend, we're starting to put that behind us.
Can we say the C word? We can say the
we can say that, but we might get Facebook. Here's information on where to go to through the CDC because we said the magic word.
Yeah.
So
true.
That happens. You can't even make memes anymore when it's forthcoming to.
Right. Well, we're just gonna have to make meme stocks, I guess.
That's already happening.
And that's right.
So between these two events now, because it seems like they're competing, whereas before one just took the place of the other, which one do you think is going to leave gamers the most satisfied?
Out of which one?
Summer Games Fest.
Summer Games Fest
versus E3.
Gosh, I mean, Santa Keeley is doing everything he can to pump up Summer Games Fest. I don't think it's exactly there yet, but I'm judging it off of the last year. I'm excited about it, but E3 is always going to be my thing. It's my Super Bowl. I love it. It's everyone's Super Bowl who's big into gaming. It's just I love sitting on the couch just streaming the thing, listening to what all my friends are saying, and thinking about what are we going to be doing. Do you get the goosebumps? I can't wait to hear world premiere. That's what I want to hear. I always get goosebumps whenever I hear that. I want to go there. Hopefully if this thing takes off, Cross, we'll get invited to one of these things eventually. And that would be just amazing. I would love to go.
It would be really cool to cover either one of these events, honestly.
Yeah.
They're both, I mean, this is what we live for.
Yes.
As gamers, we wait every year for the announcement of the next lineup of games. This is where we know and we start to plot, like, what are we going to put our time into last year? For us, last year was pretty clear. It was going to be Valhalla.
Oh, gosh. I'm still not done yet.
Yeah, it was going to be Valhalla. It was going to be Cyberpunk, although that one kind of fell by the wayside. It was really hard to get into that game.
Are you also waiting for the enhanced update?
Yeah. I've given up until the enhanced update comes out. It's also why I'm not going to play Red Dead again until they enhance it.
Same. I haven't gone any further.
Yeah, I want to see what it looks like in 4K, at least 60. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
That game was gorgeous at 1080.
It looks so good.
30, you know what I mean? So
the responsiveness of the characters just wasn't there. And I know Rockstar, I don't know if at this point Rockstar wants that to be their darling little thing about their games. They're like the slow soaking wet movement that they have, the input lag that people think is input lag. It is by all definition input lag, but it's a thing that Rockstar has kind of like grown attached to, and they don't want to expand upon it. I have heard from the new updates that are supposed to be coming out that we're going to be getting a lot more responsiveness in our movement. And I hope they just change it for the better, because we would be on GTA a whole lot more, right? The game just felt better and more responsive and could.
No, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why I'm not on GTA more. You ready for this? I've thought about this a lot. Number one, there's a list, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I've been recently. I've convinced a buddy of mine to make the switch over from PlayStation to Xbox. Mm-hmm. And one of the games that we have in common is GTA, and like a third friend of ours, we've all been kind of playing together right now. I am a rich man on GTA. I don't need money. So whenever we go on there, I just pretty much, if we're do like a heist or something, I just give it all to him.
I get the steady checks in GTA. That's why I survive long cross.
Yeah. I just give them to him, you know what I mean, to make sure that he's having fun. So one of the things that I used to love to do that I was really good at was killing the entire lobby. Oh, it used to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's how I met you.
Yeah, exactly. You killed me, actually,
and your entire clan.
Yes, and they created a war.
Yeah, it did.
So anyway, I was playing, right, and to be honest, I don't go out of my way to kill people. Mm-hmm. I wait for them to attack me, and then I don't give up. I say, okay, you pick this fight, and I've got time. But one of the things that I've noticed now is that people who just want to go around picking fights have a machine literally called an oppressor that I just don't have access to.
That's what I was trying to think about. I was like, it could be something about the oppressor. That thing has been busting balls.
The name is apropos. It is oppressive. It's ridiculous. It's a bike that just locks onto you.
We got to get you on a mic. We got to get you on a mic at a press conference. And
it ruined the game. The game is dead because of the oppressor.
I love flying around.
Aptly named.
Invite only.
Named.
invite only mode is when I love flying around on that thing. I mean, I guess even out of it, but if other vehicles could be as smooth as that thing, I would have no problem. I hope they release the Christopher Nolan Batmobile. That's what I want to see.
Want them to stop doing DLC for GTA 5, kill the oppressor, and come out with GTA 6.
Yeah, we're hearing good things about that too. There's a lot more rumors coming out. It looks like some of the Colombian drug running, I guess, is going to be going on in that. That's what I've heard anyway. I've heard more about the maps.
Heard a lot of rumblings about it's going to be a return to Vice City. What I'm hoping is that it'll be multi-mapped.
Yeah,
with the power of the next generation of consoles and graphics cards with the 3080, 3090, etc.
How great are these things too?
Man. Right? Yeah. No, absolutely. But I think that we could have just huge maps.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I would love to see is for them to do Los Santos, Liberty City, and Vice City. And then you could also do the UK or something.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? Somewhere like London.
See, that was...
And I would... And yes. You could have characters that are... Because we've already seen them. They pulled it off brilliantly in the story mode where you have 3 characters that all have their unique... So they could do 4 characters, each one from each spot. And at certain times they kind of interact. And then obviously you could do the drug angle from there where it's international shipping of drugs and stuff like that and across state lines. So you're dealing more with
federal agents. Yeah.
I think there's a lot to go. That's what I would like to see. I don't know if they're going to do that. It probably won't. But that's something that I
like that idea. And Destiny is bringing back everything from, I'm not going to go into a thing of talking about them, but they basically brought back the year 1 raids, all the year 1 weapons from Destiny 1. And, I like it. I just wish that they wouldn't have done it when they did it. You know what I mean? And Rockstar, I think everyone's been wanting this. It's even been rumored that they're working on it. What you're talking about right now, it's apparently people data mined things. And they've made Liberty City on a GTA mod. They've made, I think, Vice City on one of them that they're working on. They're basically working on a mod that can have all these cities in a close proximity that you could just drive over to a bridge. And that's been the most requested feature is to be able to do that. And I think it should be okay for us to go back to these games, have them connect. I thought it would be cool if you could just play with people from Division 1. And Division 2 and in their own respective areas. Overwatch. Overwatch 1 and 2 can play together. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're going to get into that too.
I was wondering.
A lot more news on that. But
yeah,
before we move on, what do you think is going to be There's a lot of rumors going on. It's impossible.
I love rumors. You want to know what
this reminds me of? This reminds me of draft time during the NFL. There's just misinformation everywhere.
I can't wait to start adding sound effects to this show.
What do you think is going to be the biggest announcement from either of these 2 events?
It's going to be something that we're not sure about. I'm not trying to cheap out my answer here. I'm going to say we know Halo Infinite.
Yeah, what a great non-answer that is.
Right? Halo Infinite is going to knock it out of the park. But out of what we don't know, there's going to be a couple things. I think Phil Spencer really wants to turn the focus back to gaming again, and this is going to be his chance. He's had these opportunities before, but I think it's more important and it's going to be more impactful than ever. I think we're going to see a couple things. I saw that there were some release schedules leaked out. I guess Colt Eastwood put a video about it. I didn't look at it. I watched the guy. I think he's great, but I'm not going to watch anything like that. But I think we're going to see some stuff that we haven't heard anything about, and that's what I like with Cyberpunk almost. I'm really looking forward to just being blown away here because I think we all deserve it after everything that's happened. I mean, there's a lot of people who still don't have the Series X's yet. So you know what? I could see them giving some away at their audience there. I could see them giving some out to people who got to sit there. That would be a really cool thing to do because people have had a hard time. I mean, unless those people already have some, and then they're just helping scalpers out. That could be a bad thing. Now that I think about it, I'm looking really forward to Halo Infinite. They can't fuck this one up. I'm not saying they are not capable.
Yeah. But we know they are well capable.
Right. I'm saying they cannot fuck this one up.
I would like to just point out that they already did. We talked about this a year ago now, but they did screw up that little speech.
Oh my god,
that was bad.
That was so
that was
cringy.
bad. Whoever let that guy write that speech unsupervised, both the speechwriter and that guy, his supervisor, should both be fired.
That was the definition of cringe. Like, oh my god, it was so cringy. Oh.
So I think there's two big gaming companies that are going to be present at E3 this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's Microsoft, and there's Nintendo.
Oh.
And my bold ass prediction is that they are going to announce a partnership of sorts.
Yes.
Where maybe some Xbox titles find their way over to Nintendo, and maybe some Nintendo titles find their way over to Xbox.
I think that is very, very likely. We talked about this a couple times on the show here about how they've been trying to work. They've had these deals going. They were in talks with them, and the only thing we heard is that they were going well. You heard that they were laughing.
I heard they were going well, and then a leaked thing came out where Nintendo literally laughed at their face for like
right. So I feel bad for that. I feel bad for that for whoever was in that. I mean, that's just a random thing to tweet. It almost has to be real. but at the same time, there's a lot of shills and a lot of haters out there who
especially Sony people since Microsoft bought Bethesda.
Yes, and how about that perfect segue? I wanted to talk about this Starfield, baby.
That's
exclusive.
Right. So before you say anything, what is because I have a feeling that this is where it's going. So we've made what we think is going to be our bold predict. Well, yours not so bold, mine a little bit more bold. But what is the thing that you personally, Morgan the Irish Cowboy, what are you looking forward to the most?
Starfield.
From either of these events.
I want them to roll that Starfield dick in their face, just like get on stage and just wave it around, just right in their faces. Pinwheel it. I don't care. Whatever makes it look flashier.
Spin it round and round.
That's right.
Spin.com.
Yes.
Don't go there. Don't go there. Block that out.
Block that out. Don't do it. Don't. Okay.
Bleep it out.
Well, we can't really stop them. It's too late. It's too. They're gonna go. They're gonna check that out. And you know what?
Welcome to mid 2000s era's jokes, ladies and gentlemen. That's the type of stuff that you're not gonna get on any other podcast.
That's right. We can guarantee you at least this. At least. But Starfield, holy damn! I cannot wait. I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited. This single player Bethesda game, it's not going to be a multiplayer game. I hope it will be. I hear they're working on something that could always fall through. You never know with Bethesda. But I am too jacked to the tits for this one, and I know I'm going to be disappointed at some point in time. Right? That's just how it goes. But I don't know. I need to see this. I want to see E3 game footage of what the hell is going on. Todd Howard has a it was just Todd Spencer. Todd Howard has
they're basically the same person.
Right.
Let's be real here.
They look like they're bros. They look like they're best buds. And
they're both the stepdad we all wish we had.
That's right. I would like to see a non-shit Wolfenstein. I want to get him back. I want to get Billy Boy back, and I want to feel like the Punisher again. I would love to see a Daredevil video game that was rumored for Sony. I don't know if they're going to come through with that or not, but if there's even any more rumors, I know it was squashed, but that would be cool. I would want to see something like that, but I know Sony's not going to be there, but I have a feeling they're going to release a couple things, either before or shortly after E3, because everyone's going to be looking at them. Nintendo is probably going to reveal their high-end console that they're making.
Yep.
I can't wait. Yep. I'm
definitely probably the Nintendo Switch Pro.
Yes, and I'm definitely going to get that. I want to get in on this Monster Hunter Rise.
You can.
Yeah, right. The scalpers, right? We gotta fight these guys. We gotta do what we gotta do to get them. I can't believe my wife was the one who pre-ordered the Series X on her broken phone. We finally got that replaced. But like these things are great, and I really want more people to be able to use them and have fun with them. because Call of Duty, man, plays amazing on the Series X. Even old games like Star Wars Battlefront 2, they run really, really well on those things.
I've been playing a lot of Knights of the Old Republic, which is also something that has been rumored as a remake. Hoping that maybe we learn a little bit more information about that, though I doubt it. Thing that I'm looking forward to the most, and it's also from Bethesda, but it's not Starfield.
Oh, yeah.
It's Elder Scrolls 6.
That's right, Elder Scrolls 6.
Well, we have been waiting 10 years now. What was it, 2 years ago at E3? Got a taste.
Yep.
Then nothing last year. And now, I think, is the time that we get more.
Remember, Man versus
What
Beast.
I'm really hoping for, Bethesda has this, I'm going to say annoying, but I do say that with love, because they create some of the best titles out there.
Yes.
Where they only do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping with the influx of cash from Microsoft that we're going to see an unprecedented thing from Bethesda where they work on 2 titles at once.
Oh, I hope so.
Starfield will come out probably next year.
Well, they've got the resources.
Elder Scrolls 6, I'm hoping, praying it'll be 2 years.
They've got Microsoft
so a year
Studios.
after that. Yeah,
working with them too.
Again.
That's another thing I wanted to mention. That's a good segue. I wanted to bring this up real quick. So the Series X can feel like the big boy in the room once again, as if it needs to. AMD is now going to be accelerating their DLSS like software. My biggest complaint with the Series X and any next gen console, right, was that I wanted to be able to stick any game in there, and any old game, and just have it enhanced. You know, like when we get new graphics cards for our PCs, we could play anything and it just looks and plays better, right? It's just an overall nice looking upgrade for anything. And with the consoles, it's like set in stone. Frame rates will be better if they're programmed to be better. But as far as graphics goes and making certain things a little bit more optimized by being smarter about where they're sending their shaders through, whether it be the RAM storage or whatever, well, this new DLSS like process that AMD has is going to be available on the Series X very soon. And I think I'm actually going to get to start testing it. It's basically going to do what I was just referring to, is popping in any old game and having the AI analyze whatever you're playing and enhance it. I think it would work for movies and shows too. But that's really exciting, and it's going to be coming out very, very soon. I'm really excited for that, because that literally changes everything. It's the definition of that. And the Sony the PS5 cannot do that, because they do not have full RDNA 2 on their chip, their AMD chip that runs their consoles.
Hey man, we've got exclusives.
Right. That no one wants to fucking play. Days Gone, everyone was so excited for that, and that was like one of the worst mechanically speaking games.
I guess this is a good question, because I don't actually know the answer. When was the last time a Sony title won Game of the Year?
Oh my gosh,
exclusive Sony title.
Probably was it God of War, or was it?
I think it's God of War. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hearing. It could have been another time with what was it? The chick running Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm not about it. You know, I will say.
I was genuinely asking. I wasn't trying to be coy.
Oh, no, I didn't think you were. I was just, Horizon Zero Dawn is like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. Like, it's just all about this girl, and everyone calls God goddess. And it's just, you know, it's just one of those things, man. I won't get too far into it, because I want this video to be monetized at some point in time. But I'm just saying, they could do better, and they don't have to just like make it all one-sided. And I would love that. I mean, I don't even want games to make that kind of thing an issue, because it's kind of tacky now. Mm-hmm. And, you know, whatever. I will say, though, that I'm excited for the next Sony console, because it's going to be badass. I've seen the blueprints for it, like the dual graphics card setup and everything. Like they're going to be investing a lot into this. They know where their shortcomings are here. And that coil whine is nuts. For anyone who has it, I have it on my Taco Bell series, or 1X edition. And it's annoying. You don't want to hear it all the time, and not everybody has headphones on when they're playing by themselves. And it's It's really irritating. The Sony PS5 Pro is going to be insane, and I need to find a way to get one of those PS5 controllers working on my PC or the Xbox. We're excited for E3, right? We're pumped for it. This is what we want to see. We don't want to be let down, and I know it's a lot to ask for, but I don't want to be let down this year.
Well, I don't think that we're going to be let down. I think because there were so many games that were pushed back, delayed, even canceled.
And we were all told 2021 was going to be a blah kind of time. Like no movies were going to come out this year, no games.
Right. So I think that we're going to get a lot of announcements.
Yeah.
I think we might get like double the announcements that we would normally, just because there were projects that were under wraps that maybe got put on pause while they're trying to sort out all the COVID stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that now that it looks like I said, everything's settled, people are getting back to work. Things are becoming more normal.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to get probably double. And that's why I said I really am hoping that they just up their ampage over there at Bethesda, and they're just churning out Elder Scrolls because it's been so long. And Skyrim is still such a beautiful masterpiece. It just plays so well,
I want to play
on the Xbox.
Well.
And I need more. I need more.
Well, I think we're going to see something from Titanfall. I'm pretty sure. We're going to see, I would
refer to EA for what they did to that series.
I know. I was thinking about installing Titanfall 2 just to like play it because I miss playing those games with you guys like a lot. Titanfall was our shit, man. The first one was the best by far. But I really liked Ronin in the second one. But I hope they do not turn this into like a woke fest like they did with what was that battle royale game where like all
Apex?
Yeah, Apex. Yeah, Apex would have I would have been on Apex all the time if they just let us make our own character. I don't like the battle royales that have to use set characters, and I don't like running around as a chick. You know me? It's just weird for me.
Yeah, call me a purist. PUBG is still the one for me.
And that was another point I was going to bring up about the enhancements, these DLSS like enhancements, and that was for games, especially like PUBG, is going to see a huge performance hike from this AI technology that AMD is pumping out.
It already plays so much better on the Series X.
Yeah, I got to play around with it a couple months ago when I was trying out some games for like 2 minutes a piece, and I went into the training mode, and the frames were just great. And it was so smooth, and it felt like how it always should. And I can't wait to start playing that game with you again. It was great. Being shot by someone I had already shot in 12 times. That's going to be fun too. You know what I mean, man. I just got sniped, and is the SKS good again? Because it got nerfed big time last time I used it.
It's better, but the SLR is still
just,
like if you have a choice, go with the SLR.
Absolutely agree. I want to see. Isn't there like a volcano map or something like that?
Yep, there's a new map. It's a smaller map, so it's kind of like Sanhok. It's like if Erangel had lava.
We have so much fun on Sanhok.
As small as Sanhok, that's what it would be.
How much fun?
But there's only 64 players though.
On Sanhok, how much fun do we have? Do you and I have on Sanhok?
I had a 14 kill chicken dinner.
Dude, that's great.
Night.
Well, I mean, just so when you and I play together on that map, it's so much fun. Like we do really well on that map, and it's just we know the spots, and we just I really like that map.
Only map I don't care for. It's still fine. Is Miramar?
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah.
Because it's just too big.
Yeah, there can be too big. Yeah, there can be some shenanigans when you're driving and trying to get places, and the scopes is the biggest issue there. Like, it's really hard to find like even a 2 times.
Yeah, it's an 8x8, and I've got a red dot on one gun, and on my sniper I've got nothing. Right. So let me take this 500 meter engagement.
Right.
While these guys shoot at me.
I was when we were last playing, I was talking about how cool it would be if we had like a Division like city, and that's exactly what they're working on right now. I hear they're, if not testing already, they have like a quarantined area that's like been completely. It's like a city. It almost reminded me of like Times Square, is what the area looked like. But I'm pretty excited about it. Can't wait to see it. Unless I'm wrong and have no idea what I'm talking about, then there's always that. But hey, I can get myself excited.
So I guess now would be the time to. We mentioned it earlier, and
what's that?
Bring this up almost every podcast. Overwatch 2.
Oh yeah!
News. Finally, and I'm nervous.
When's it coming out?
There's still no release date. It's definitely going to be 2022. They recently dropped a trailer, which was interesting, so you can find it. And also, Play Overwatch 2 is officially up, like the URL for that for Blizzard.
Nice.
So that is officially. So there are two big things going on with Overwatch at the moment, and this happened a little while ago. So, and it happened first. So I guess we'll mention this now. But Jeff Kaplan, who is the creative director, he left Blizzard. He was the face of the Overwatch development team.
Oh, was he the reason for all the cool Halloween stuff going on?
I mean, I don't want to say that he was the reason, but I mean, he did spearhead those things. Although, all they've really done the last year, or really year and a half, is just kind of skin things.
Right.
Came out with new.
But it does put you in the mood.
But so I mean, they haven't really done much with the events. That was because we were told a while ago that we wouldn't see much until Overwatch 2. They were kind of putting all their heroes in one little basket. They were going to release a whole bunch all at once.
Oh yeah.
So we haven't. It's been really dry in Overwatch, and then the fact that it happened and their COVID happened and it got pushed back, and now we're still waiting. It's gotten really stale over there at Overwatch. And so
I can imagine.
Jeff Kaplan then steps down, who, I mean, I could have my critiques on how I think that the balancing should be done and stuff like that, but let's not forget how great of a game Overwatch was. Jeff was a big reason for that. So now that he's stepped down, I mean, that's a big deal. It's never a good sign.
Right.
And I mean, never, ever a good sign.
So this is not a good sign.
The head guy steps down in the midst of a development cycle for a new game.
Right.
It's just not. It's not a good. It doesn't work out. It never works out.
It's like when Adam Sandler left Hotel Transylvania 4.
That's a bad example. I should have never have gotten past one.
Right. My daughter watches these movies like all the time. So like my wife and I are like, when's the fourth one coming out? Like I can't stand Adam Sandler. I'll be honest. But he's tolerable in these movies. I didn't mean to throw you off, but that was just the quickest example I could think of.
Yeah, that was So anyway, moving on.
You got to watch out for that Cowboy. He might just derail this whole thing.
Yeah, it's off the rails. Here I am driving the train. I've got my nice little conductor hat on, and Morgan just decides, hey, wouldn't it be fun if I threw dynamite on the tracks?
Boom. Boom.
Okay. So Jeff is gone. And then the other big bit of news, Overwatch has always been a 6v6 game, and Overwatch 2 is going to be 5v5.
Oh, that's going to be weird.
Don't know how that all works out. Don't know.
The toxicity is going to be a slightly more condensed in matches.
Don't know how they're going to work the balancing. If it's going to be, I want to say, actually, they did answer this question. So it's going to be one tank, 2 DPS, 2 heals for the most part in competitive. So, I mean, they're going to have to buff the tanks.
You know what? That might make it a little bit better.
Drilled.
You know why that might make it better? It's because people were like, oh, no, I want to do this DPS. Or it's like, oh, I want to be, I want to be a tank. Well, I want to be a tank. It's going to take some of that out of there. And people are going to be able to select their players a lot faster, I would see from this as well. It might just make things go a lot more smoothly. A quality of life, if you will.
Maybe. The problem is that the
or a denial of
community is split. So there's this old meme in Overwatch, and so the old Overwatchers will get this. Stylosa once told me. So Tom Stylosa Stewart ran a poll on Twitter that accrued over 12,000 votes, asking if the change to 5v5 was good or bad. 51.3% voted it was a good change, while 48.7% called it terrible. So to say that the community is split on this, almost completely right down the middle, is not an understatement.
Well, I think you should do it
perfectly stated.
I think you should do an audit, personally.
An audit? Yeah. Will the real Overwatchers please stand up? So I guess we'll see. We're going to see how it all shakes out. I am very nervous, but I'm also excited.
But do you have that feeling in the air, right? Like, can you feel the cool air in your air-conditioned abode on your skin right now? Can you feel that? Because I can feel it.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because my air conditioning is actually out.
Oh,
so all I have right now in my house is a rented portable air conditioner until my air gets fixed.
I'm gonna find something.
Slackers said, I'm not gonna say the company's name because I don't want to get sued in the future, but the slackers at insert company name here, heating and cooling, are not doing the parts of the cooling parts.
Let me see if I can find like a little cool portable, like a one room kind of AC deal.
That's what I have for the bedroom.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah, so the baby is fine. So I've been confined to my bedroom.
Yeah.
But
have you?
If I want to come out here and play if I want to come out here and play video games, I have to do so while sweating my ass off.
Dude, I'd love researching
90-degree house.
Well, that's just, you're a good dad. You know, that's just how it is. I broke my arm. I guess we should mention real quick before we go, because it's been like an hour already, almost. But
this is what we do. We talk.
Yeah. This and the fuck was I was gonna say. Oh yeah. So I broke my arm, like a smart person, tripped over, and my mom was like gonna go to the store, and she was over helping us watch Liv, and we were messing with the floors. My mom was like, well, I need to go. It was like 1 a.m. She's like, well, I'm going to go to the store and pick up some eggs for her mom, my grandma. And I'm like, no, you're not going to go to the store. It's way too late. Just let me get these eggs. And then I tripped over right on my arm. And
eggs.
And I heard a loud wet crunch. And it was literally 20 minutes before I bought that mega dip on Doge. And like I spent like 800, 900 on it and didn't get as much as I wanted. We'll say, to say the very least.
Yeah, I would just like to point out too, I was in on Doge very early, as you know, because I got you in on it.
Yeah.
I guess we weren't really recording around that time. But unless Doge absolutely crashes all the way to zero, I'm fine.
Yeah. I can't remember how many Doge you told me you had one time. I completely forgot about it. I thought I had
a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Nice.
It's a lot.
Well, I'm really happy for you. I hope to be putting in a lot more than what I've got once this whole stock thing is over. But man.
The wet crunch.
The wet crunch. That's right. I instantly felt the regret.
My derail.
And then Doge went down to 12 cents after I broke my arm. So I'm like, it's not going to get any lower than 20, 30 from here. That was when it was on its rip, and so like right away, bam! It's like I wanted to throw up after hearing that, but I was so pissed about it that I didn't even care that I had just broken my arm, and then I had to go to the hospital. I was like, yeah, my arm hurts, but hold on, what is it seriously saying what I think it's saying right now? I can't believe it. And yeah, it was my right arm, so I couldn't be doing any editing, anything like that at all. I had it in a sling for the longest time, and I'm now able to like do some mouse work on the computer, thank God. Because every time I reach for it, I could just feel it. I still can't lift a lot of things, and sometimes using my mouse for too long does get it a little sore. But other than that, like it was, it is what it is. Like the last show we did, I talked about how we're back to giving weekly good vibes and times. And then you had your kid, beautiful Brielle, and then I broke my arm, and we had
that cell thing too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Crazy.
So I don't know if you probably don't want to go into detail, but since you've already mentioned your arm, tell the good folks about what type of broken arm have, because that would explain why kind of we've been on the shelf for a while. Yeah, it wasn't a clean break.
Oh yeah, no, it was fractured throughout my whole elbow, and spider
right?
fracture through every my elbow and my forearm. It was lifting the bone up out of my, the little wrist bone that pops out of your wrist. Yeah, that it was lifting that thing up big time. So we thought we might have to do something there. It was starting to fracture elsewhere. And it was really, really hurting. And then my daughter, it's just a parent's instinct. My daughter almost fell and it was about to hurt herself big time. So I dove and caught her right away without even thinking about my arm. And it made it a hell of a lot worse. That set me back about another 2 weeks, guaranteed, easy 2 weeks, probably longer. But yeah, I'm happy to get back and be doing this and having a distraction from the markets right now. But man, I can't wait for this to be over, and we're getting close. Shareholder meetings tomorrow, and that's on 6-9 lol. Thank you, Ryan Cohen, for that. but we're probably going to hear something about how many votes are actually there, and I hope we do. And you, how has it been being a dad? Because she's adorable.
It's been the best thing I've ever done.
See, that's what I'm talking about, and it is, isn't it? That is the truth. It is awesome. She's like your biggest fan, besides me.
You don't really appreciate life until you are holding a little human that you helped create in your arms. Like, there's something just magical about that I can't describe any of. And she, it's not easy. She does cry, keeps you up sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get frustrated. That's all perfectly natural. So, I mean, if you're planning on having a kid or you're just having one now, it's not going to be easy.
Definitely not.
It is the most, like I said, it is the best thing the best decision I've ever made in our life.
It's so much fun.
When we decided to have a baby, she blessed our lives, because that's what she is. She's a little blessed.
Yeah.
So I did have a baby. It was, well, I guess what better platform than here to share it? So
that's right.
Having a baby during COVID, 0 out of 10 would not recommend.
I agree with you there.
So what had happened is where I live in Michigan, the hospitals were allowing just one visitor. And once you visited, you gotta stay.
Yep.
If you don't stay, can't come back in.
Jeez.
You get like this little wristband, like they're, admitting you into some fucking carnival or something.
Free drinks.
And so it was a Sunday. It was the 28th. Yeah, it was the 28th. She was born on the 29th of March. The 28th. And we're having just kind of a lazy Sunday, right? It was a great lazy Sunday, but early in the morning I started to feel sick, right?
Oh gosh, yeah.
So she, my beautiful girlfriend Chelsea, she and her family had a 24-hour little blue bug, I guess you'd call it, where like, you kind of puke, and once you do that, you kind of just get over it.
Yep.
So she had it. But she had it like a week and a half ago at this point, right? This was the last person. She was the last person to get it in her family a week and a half ago. So Sunday, I'm not feeling particularly great. I'm like, oh, great, I probably got this or whatever, but it's just a 24-hour bug. We get to about 8 o'clock. She hops in the shower, and her water breaks.
Oh, perfect timing, by the way.
Yeah, she doesn't think that her water's broke yet, because she's like, when I was in the shower and I was drying off, she wasn't sure. She was like, it was just a little bit, so I think I'm okay. And then as she's getting dressed, it happened again. And so
oh gosh,
we're like, okay, yeah, this is it. So we're packing up the diaper bag, packing out our stay bag. We packed like 3 days worth of clothes, stuff like that, because we knew that we wouldn't be able to leave. Like, I wouldn't be able to leave just to go get more clothes. The hospital's only like 10 minutes away from me. So it's not like in a normal time it would have been a big deal for me to run home, grab something, and go back. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
that would have been perfect.
On the couch and come back. So we're packing up, and as we're packing up, I'm getting worse and worse. Starting to get dizzy. I have a fever now. And I live in, so we're going down the stairs or whatever. And we got everything dressed. She's dressed. We're going down. Obviously, I'm going to drive. And I'm like, it doesn't even, I don't know how best to describe it, but it was like my peripheral vision was gone. Like all I could do was just look straight ahead. I couldn't see like anything. I don't remember being able to see anything on the sides. All I could do is just see like straight ahead, and woozy, I'm nauseous, really not feeling great. So we get downstairs. By the time we get down the stairs, I'm like halfway hunched over, right? Like kind of like leaning, like my shoulders are like kind of slouched because I practice good posture. I always have like my shoulders back. Like right now they're slouched. So we're walking, and she kind of, we're all in a hurry. I forget to close the door, like the big door. So just the screen door is closed. And so she goes, "Hey baby, you go close the door." I turn around and I walk up the porch, and then I just spew right over the side of the rail, just blowing up chunks. So I know I have a fever. I just threw up.
Yep.
In my head, I am like, I don't know what to do. Because what I don't want to happen is that my baby is born. I give her this 24-hour flu bug. You know what I mean? That's it's not good for babies. Babies cannot handle the flu very well, or colds or anything. So like I'm trying to make a decision, and ultimately for my first ever child, I did not get to be there to see the birth of my daughter.
That happened
her mom
to me.
Go because I wanted her to have somebody there.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I went to the hospital, they weren't going to let me because I had a fever. So here's the thing. The next day, I was completely fine. So I will never forgive the lawmakers here for as long as I live.
Yeah.
That they prevented me from seeing the birth of my first child.
I know.
Because Chelsea ended up going into labor for close to 20 hours. I want to say it was about 8 hours.
Damn.
So the next day, I was completely fine. It was literally 24 hours. In fact, by 2 a.m. that morning, I was fine. My fever was gone. I didn't feel nauseous anymore. I was good.
Yeah.
And they would not let me in.
Oh, that sucks.
I am not a violent man. That day, I contemplated doing great violence.
I'll just make this quick. A very similar thing happened to me, and it was a week before, and I started getting a fever, and I was seeing things. Not kidding. I was getting actual hallucinations. That was how bad it was. My brain was cooking. You could probably have cooked an egg slightly on my head. On my forehead. That's how it was. I was like, something's wrong here. Something's really, really wrong. But my wife had to go to the hospital, and like you were saying or whatever, they only let so many people in, and I had a fever, and I was very, very sick, and I was feeling terrible. I didn't want to have to miss this, but I did. They wouldn't let me come in. They wouldn't let me go in the shape I was in. So by the time my mom brought me some food that night, giving me updates on how Laura was doing, I mean, I was texting her too as much as I could, but I wanted to just hear some updates. She dropped some food off for me. I think it was like Penn Station or whatever, and I was seeing stars everywhere, and I couldn't even look at my mom because my eyes were out. I was just distracted by all these weird things floating around, and it was getting pretty nuts. And then my brain was cooking, and then finally she has the baby and sends me pictures, and I was almost feeling all better after just seeing some of the pictures. But then when Laura brought home, when we went to go bring the baby home that night, I woke up and I woke up to the worst pain ever in my stomach, in my gut, and it was so bad I couldn't even do a sit up to get out of bed. And then my wife called my mom over to see what was going on. I'm like, "Oh, it's okay, I'll be fine. I got to get up and go to work or whatever, and or help my wife with the kid." And I'm like, they're like, "No, you need to go to the hospital." And apparently, I had a smoldering appendix that had to be removed. That was about to burst inside of me. So yeah, I had
the irony is that maybe that hospital would have been able to help you out had they just let you in.
Right. I could have died if I would have waited any longer. And those hallucinations I was having, that fever, that was from my appendix leaking into my system. And it was so it had to be removed. But so my wife and I, 1 week my wife, has the baby. and then I have my appendix taken out of me. It was just hilarious. I wanted to be there so bad. I when I woke up out of surgery, I was just trying to breathe. I was getting really sick, and I was just completely forgot where I was, and almost forgot what had happened in the last week. I just broke down crying right there, and I don't even know why. Because I wanted to be there. I was losing. I was hysterical, and I don't ever get like that. But I wanted to go home and see her.
So there was so the best part of the story here, though. It does get better. So the next day, I'm like dropping stuff off to her. You know, what I mean, the baby has been born at this point. Luckily, her mom was actually able to FaceTime me, and so although I wasn't there, I did get to see it. Yeah. So it actually got really scary there. They don't know why, but all of a sudden, her heart rate started dropping like into the low 60s and 80s. Like it was like between 60 and 80. You know that a baby's heartbeat is supposed to be around like 140, 160.
That makes sense.
And hers was dropping to the 60s and 80s. So at first they thought that the cord was like wrapped around her neck. And the only way that we could get the heartbeat to stay up was if Chelsea was on kind of like all fours on like this little cube or whatever, so she could rest. So she didn't actually have to sit on all fours. Right. They gave her like a cube. So they did an emergency C-section. It went great. Baby was fine. The umbilical cord was not wrapped around her neck, so they just really don't know why this happened.
Yeah.
Which is a little scary, but also kind of like, okay, well, maybe like the machine was just wrong or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't catching the whole thing. And so one of the nurses actually wheeled her out into the hallway for me so that I could hold her the day that she was born. So I didn't get to see the birth, and I wasn't there for the birth. But I did get to hold her for she let me hold her for like 5-10 minutes. That's adorable. When I tell you, now I'm a big dude, right, Morgan? I'm about 6'3", about 235, 240. I'm a big guy. I cried like a 3-year-old girl. I bawled my little eyes out. It was just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, last thing, I took about 5 weeks off when she was born. I was just going to take the whole month the way that she was kind of born. It just didn't make any sense for me to go back to work until that following Monday. Right. Which was like the 3rd of May. So she was born on the 29th, so I was off from basically the 28th, which is Sunday. I don't work that day. So basically from the 29th to the 3rd of May. So it worked out to be 5 weeks. If you can afford it, and I know not everybody can, take as much time as you can. So when your baby is first born, as a dad especially, so that you can bond with your child. There is something so special about just holding your newborn baby. It was really helpful for her too, because she had the C-section. So, it was really hard for her to kind of like move and pick stuff up. And so it was really helpful that I was off. But even if it had been a natural thing, obviously there still would have been a recovery time. It just wouldn't have been as long, but it's for you, not even for that reason, but just for you as a father. The skin to skin contact. Skin to skin. Yeah. Just learning your baby, because there's going to be a time, believe it or not, that you're going to be left alone with that little hellraiser. Oh yeah. And it already is. Babies are very particular. They like to be held a certain way. They like to be rocked a certain way. Yeah. And if you don't know that going into it, you're fucked. Oh yeah. And they explode. Isn't it cute when they're like swaddled in this like nicely tight like little hot, like burrito, right? And they look so snug and comfy, and you're holding them thinking that she's going to go to sleep, and all of a sudden you just feel this whoosh. Yeah, and there's vomit all over you. Yeah, or the other end. Oh yeah, or the other end. Yeah. You just hear like an explosion, like a little rocket was like, it's like a little missile about to lift off. Like it's like My favorite is the other night I had to go through 3 shirts and 3 pairs of shorts. Oh yeah. But each, just so you know, each time it was different. So it wasn't both a shirt and a pair of shorts at the same time. One time it was the shorts, another time it was a shirt. Then it was the shorts again, then it was the shorts again, and then it was 2 shirts in a row. So we're contemplating changing babies in raincoats for those just listening. Yeah, that's our first Reactive Reload merch. That's right. Our baby raincoats. That's right. Or raincoats for the parents. That's right. Matching raincoats. Baby coats. I like it. Baby coats. But I guess before we finally wrap, is there anything else that you want to say?
Oh, I'll be saying it on the next one, and the next one after that, and the next one after that,
And the next one.
and the next one,
And the next
and the next one. That's right. That's right.
We back.
That's right. We're back. Looks like we're going to have to wrap it up there. Thank you guys for coming. Hopefully there's going to be a lot more. Hope you liked it. You can follow the show at Reactive Reload on Twitter. You can follow me at The Irish Cowboy, No Take Backsies, and Crossover at Reactive Brandon. You guys have a good day, night, whatever the hell time it is you're watching this. We fucking love you.